See, with the video, actually it's going to be a commentary, buddy, and I'm going to talk about something. What I talked about before, the evil realm. I'm going to do one more video on that, and I'm going to get personal on this one. This has to do with the devil. And here's the question: is what is the one thing? What is the one thing that drives the devil absolutely crazy? It's his hell. It's absolutely his hell. It drives him utterly crazy. He is unable to cope with it. He has to lie in order to cope with it. That's where lie comes in. He has to lie in order to cope with it. What is that one thing that drives him absolutely crazy? God's unconditional love, even for him, even for the angels that followed him. God's like, it has no bounds, everybody. It has no bounds whatsoever. But let me tell you something about the devil. His hate for God is profound. His hate for us is profound, because we are the children of God. And let me tell you what he thinks about us. You ready? What he thinks about us? In his mind, what he thinks about us? We are creatures of ignorance. He prays on that, everybody. He thinks that we are absolutely entirely stupid. That's what goes on in his mind. We are stupid. And believe it or not, everybody, you look around the world, you look around what's going on, and there are takers. There are those who go down the path of the evil realm. They go down this path. But let me tell you something else that's interesting. And I'm going to use Rod Serling. The one thing that God gave us is free will. Absolute free will. We can choose whatever. Free will is for everyone. Even as angels, even the heavenly kingdom, everyone that's up there has free will. They can leave anytime. They can stop believing in God, whatever it is. Everybody has free will. Everybody in the whole kingdom, in the whole universe has free will. Why? Because he wants people to choose him. He doesn't force himself on anybody. Even his angels. We had one fallen angel. The devil himself fell from grace. But let me tell you something else that's really important here. We have a lot of takers, everybody. It is stunning what we do to each other, and it is stunning what we do. But this is really all going to be about. We have a choice, everybody, and I'm going to use Rod Serling. Rod Serling said something, and it really kind of sums up everything, and I'm going to use the word. And we have a choice, everybody. All through our lives, all through humanity, we have this choice. Either, and I'm going to use Rod Serling here, what the devil relies on is the pit of our fears. He relies on that. Our stupidity, our ignorance, he relies on that. And he uses it to his advantage. The vanity, the power, it's all of that. He uses it. But there's another alternative. There is another choice that we have. And here's a choice of goodness. And let me tell you, I'm going to use Rod Serling again. The summit of our knowledge. The summit of our faith. The summit of the faith in ourselves. The summit of how we have an honor and respect to others and to ourselves. You have to respect to others. In other words, the testament of goodness, I've said this many times, you put others before you. The devil. Unconditional love. He has to contend with that, and you know, we see all the bad things, but be honest with you, a lot of good things go on, people. There are so many millions of people out there that do good. So many people put others before them. So many people do good for others. We see people, we have terrible storms, and how people get in there and help each other out. It's stunning what we can do. But let me just tell you about the summit of our knowledge. That's the whole thing too. We can have a choice, everybody. We can go down, and we had this midterm election, by far the most important election ever in the entire U.S. history. We could have went down the path of dictatorship, leading us down the path of dictatorship, or we had the path of democracy. And here's what I'm going to tell you. We chose the path of democracy. It is stunning how we chose democracy. And let me tell you one thing about all this. There are forces at play. But let me tell you what the good news. We're going to keep awakening up. People are going to keep waking up, and they're going to keep choosing democracy because they know what it's all about. The devil wants to go the other way, and there are those out there that want to take it down that path. To some, they think darkness is good. For some, Satan is good. That's real power. Democracy, faith in ourselves, the right to be, due process of law, all this. And what I'm trying to tell you, everybody, the choices we make, either we go down the path, the pit of our fears, or the summit of our knowledge, or the summit of our faith. It's up to all of us, everybody. I'm just going to get back to God. And I'm going to close with something that's really important that I say to myself all the time. But I'm going to get back to the devil for a minute. Unconditional love. The unconditional love that God has for each and every one of us. For every one of us, He has that unconditional love. Sometimes it's hard to take to how people can still have His love, like even the devil. For us to even comprehend that, it's difficult. That the devil does such terrible things. People do such terrible things. And there's a lot of questions here. And a lot of you are going to have some comments about this. You're going to have some comments about this. It's our choice, everybody. We have free will. We can choose, and I tell you, if we do the summit of our knowledge, the summit of our faith in ourselves, what we can do. What we can do is beyond, it is stunning what we can do. And look how far we have come. Look how far we have come. And yet there are those who want to take us back. I'm going to go ahead and end it, and let me just close with what's really important. And there's a saying that I say at every time. I pray every morning, everybody. I pray every morning, like everybody knows. At 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, I pray. And at the end of the praying, what I say is, with love in our hearts, we'll approach God with humility, others with compassion, and ourselves respect and honor. That's the code that I live by, everybody, and I hope everybody else out there lives with that code. Again, I appreciate your time on this. Again, I always hope your day is going well. Until the next video, thanks for again watching this video. Thanks again.